I was in Kansas City, like I said, and Drake dropped his joint, right? Which was, I thought, very good. I thought that drop him give a 50 line. I thought that was dope. When he told that dude how you big stepping in a size 7 man, Sean, who told him? Who told him? Who told him?
You were on it. I got to be honest. And people on Twitter were replying, being like, "Bo, you were ahead of this." Did you ghostwrite this?
I knew this was coming. And of course, the all-time classic, shut your whole ass up and make some drums.
The way I paused the track when I first heard it and had to take a breath.
What a dismissive, hilarious thing. Not beats. Go make some drums. Like you want him to make like an actual drum, right? Like you want him to take a circle and bring something around and stitch it up. So he told him to shut up and make some drums. Like Drake did good work with that, and he took the task seriously. It sounds like he went back into that space he don't need to go in. Talk about people and their women again. Like sound like he did that. That was not a great move. Forget he talked about. Who was he talking about? He was talking about somebody being 50 years old. Was he talking about Rick Ross? I thought he was talking about Future.
I thought it was Future, but the way Rick Ross responded, maybe it was Rick Ross.
Dog, I don't know. I have not gotten a great answer as to what exactly any of this had to do with Rick Ross. And people said that Drake went at him, and maybe it's at points. I hadn't seen it. I'm not sure. But on one level, to me, Drake got the flex of all these cats is coming at me at the same time. Right? Like, you the man when everybody's coming at you at the same time. On the other hand, it seemed that a big part of the reason that everybody coming at him at the same time is they don't like him.
It's just flat out. Yeah, people do not like this guy.
Rick Ross jumped into the party, and that to me was like hit him up level of personal. Hey, he called him white boy like 8 times. And I'm going to be honest, I don't know what exactly I get to say about that part of it myself. But did you think that we would live long enough that a significant part of rap beef was going to be about BBLs and nose jobs and whatever Drake did to his stomach?
Yeah, he said the thing is like your body fat percentage is 25%, but you have cutout abs. It's just... and you made this point earlier. I'm sure you'll get into it, but I get why J.Cole did what he did.
Yo! Oh, that man, an apology, man. I don't like what J.Cole did. I really don't. I did all that. I gotta apologize. It felt weak. It felt soft. It felt all those things. Today, it feels prescient. Like after I heard the Rick Ross joint, I was like, yeah, damn, like, I'd want to get out of this too. Like this about to go places. Like, don't get me wrong. This is fun. Like, we think about this for a second. It is the Royal Rumble with 3 Hall of Fame rappers in it. Like 3 legitimate Hall of Fame rappers in this. And look, man, I would not want to be there battling. Rick Ross survived 50. Think about this for a second. 50 Cent exposed Rick Ross as a corrections officer, and Rick Ross survived. Now, don't get me started on all things Rick Ross. Keeping in mind, there was a real person named Rick Ross, right? There's all that stuff. Like, but Rick Ross can rap, and Rick Ross enjoys, it seems, getting into the beef. And Rick Ross apparently has been waiting to bring this to Drake too. When he was talking about how Drake, this ain't the same white boy. Oh, there we go again. This ain't the same white boy that was just happy to be around us. And he played the clip of Rick Ross, my very favorite person to rap with. Like, Drake is a Rick Ross fan.
He hit him with the line with the Chevys, and he's like, you're not, that's not what you're rolling with. It was just, it was an immaculate 50 seconds from Rick Ross.
Oh my God, just mean. Like, the verses were cool too, but once he started talking, I was just like, oh, this is ether stuff. This is for an audience of one, and Drake gonna have to tap into a different place to bring it back to Ricky, because he rocks with Rick. Like that's he wants Rick to be his mans. It's not going to be easy for him to just jump into the side to do this. This is going, but Sean, I don't know where this is going to end, man.
I was just about to ask you, where do you think the end game of this is? Because, the last beef Drake was in, and we got Pusha T completely, a devastation. Well, yeah.
That's where it ended. It ended right there. When it still goes, man. It still goes. I think the key question here is, what is Kendrick Lamar going to do next? I think that's the other thing for Drake that's bad is Drake out here fighting him off in all the directions. He got a Ja Morant, and that story's weird.
Yeah.
That one right there is all of y'all look like suckers, right? Like everything involved in that thing with Jake. If you know, so Drake apparently used to date this woman who had a son that played ball at Sierra Canyon with like Bronny and them, and Drake had rented out Dodger Stadium to have dinner with her and put it on the internet, and he was showing up at the high school game. That's okay. I'm gonna just say this right now. That's bad form, man. Like, that's bad form. And so apparently, or some people think that Ja Morant started dating her, and then Ja Morant said something on the Instagram or Twitter, and then Drake had a problem with that. So then he threw that. This ain't what beef's supposed to be, guys. Okay? This is not, no. That stuff, get that on out of here. Everything Drake was having to say to the other rappers, here for it. He also had he did I don't care what Cole thinks, kept it moving with that. All of that's fair. Like, that's the thing. J.Cole gonna have to take those. He made sometimes, and I feel like we've all been in a situation like this where you just look up and say, I guess I'm just gonna have to be that. I guess I am a sucker then. Fine. I'll be that, right? That's what J. Cole should put out a song called I'll Be That over the Red Man, I'll Be That beat after this is all done. Because I had to say, I saw it all go down, and I was like, Jermaine Third Eye was locked in where it needed to be. And it went all right. But this first class beef, man. This first class beef. So how long we got to wait for something else? I wish Rick Ross would have waited a couple days. You know what I mean? Because now it's like we got everything all at once, and now we got to wait for more.
Yeah, tough to do a news drop on the weekend. I'm going to pull this. We almost got duped about the Kendrick diss track. Apparently it's fake and it's AI, but it does seem like he's going to drop something soon. It would be remiss for Kendrick not to come out with something.
So this is my question for you, because it don't seem like Rick Ross was waiting on anything from Drake, right? Like, that seemed to be just in the can. Yep. And ready. Like, you think Kendrick Lamar did this like when Cass be writing articles and you wrote the whole thing before the end of the game and then you just go to the locker room to plug in some quotes?
Yeah, I think he had like the structure of it, and a couple scores changed towards the end. You had a play that went well. You had that in. You heard a coach flip out. You had that in. Yeah, I think he's the beat's already done. The structure's already done. He's gonna throw in the little stuff.
I love this. I admit, I 100% love this. My good friend Jamil Hill said something about don't say nothing. Men can't say nothing about women being emotionally invested in reality TV after this. And I disagree, because these cats is rapping, right? Like, there's an activity that's around this. If all these cats was doing was talking about this on the internet, I think there's a bunch of suckers. But they put it over a beat. And yes, that makes it different. That makes it not the same.
The sport of rapping seems to be back.
Yes. And I think with three dudes that can really rap, like, you say whatever you want about Drake. Drake can rap. Like, there's no disputing the fact that Drake can rap. And I understand the questions about ghostwriting, and there's something to be had, but I've talked to enough people that are like, nah, man, that dude do it. Like, I think the way to look at Drake in that regard is there are excellent songwriters who occasionally do covers. Michael Jackson wrote a lot of really good songs, but he didn't write Man in the Mirror. I think that Drake is probably more in that line because just too many people have told me that he can bring it. So I'm going to believe those people that I trust on that front that he can bring it. But no, man, we got more. I can't wait. The NBA play-in tournament kicks off this week, and there's no better time to get in on the playoff action and win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks as you and the world's best players take the game to a new level during basketball's postseason. You can now win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks. You can turn $10 into $1,000 with basketball, hockey, and baseball entries today on Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. So make sure you go to prizepicks.com/Bomani and use code Bomani for a first deposit match up to $100. That's prizepicks.com/Bomani. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy.